It's always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed. Woo! Lord. It always feels like that last hour before the show, it feels like 5 minutes. Like there's just never enough time. There's just never enough time. Give me a second. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Are we good? Let me know. Let me know. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah. It's just one of those days. Just 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds. It's like, hey, you have 6 seconds to turn on your microphone and act like you know what you're doing. Oh, I just closed my notes. That's not good. Open. There we go. Anyway, welcome. Happy hump day, everybody. Welcome to the Lunchtime Rant. We got a lot to rant about today and comment on and fluster about. Look at my phone in the shot. Hey, phone, how you doing? See my notes? I'm about to read to y'all. Anyway, hope all is fresh and sexy in y'all worlds, and let's get started. So Gloria Gaynor, the one of the titans of disco music, confirms that she will be accepting her Kennedy Center honor from President Trump in December. As confirmed, music icon Gloria Gaynor just refused to reject President Trump's Kennedy Center Award, saying she wants unity. She called the award an honor and said unity is the core of my purpose. After the whole woke left demanded she reject Trump. Unity will always outshine the left's obsession with division, which is also odd to me because the left is the side of unity, right? They're the side of unity. They're the they're the side of peace and love and acceptance and all of these things. But ever since it was announced that Gloria Gaynor would be honored, and on top of that, she's the only black honoree. If we want to play the race game, she's the only black honoree, and then you're complaining about her being the only black honoree, and then you're mad that that a black person accepted it. Again, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So ultimately, just do what you want to do, right? And it's funny, after she accepted, or after she was nominated, or after it was announced that she would be receiving the honor, before she even said anything, people wanted her to denounce it. People wanted to wanted her, to be this firm, crazy, rabid leftist. She's a disco queen, therefore the gays are, she's the ruler of 70s disco music and gay men. So therefore, she shouldn't be on the side of Donald Trump. How dare you accept something from Donald Trump? So of course they went digging into her donation history and found out that she donated a considerable amount of money to Republican candidates. To which I say, her job is not to share her politics with you. Her job is to entertain you. And I think a lot of times I don't know if this is around the world, but in this culture, we tend to think we own the people we respect in entertainment, or the people we like in entertainment. You don't own these people. They have private lives, whole private lives that is none of your business. So if she wants to get on the stage and perform at a pride event and then go home to her nuclear family, whatever it is, Christian values, whatever it is, that's her prerogative. Her job is to sing. That's her job. That's like if you're an administrative assistant, your job is to go show up and be an administrative assistant, right? Whatever you do after you leave there is none of the people's business, right? If you go home and you're a conservative Republican, blah, 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 whatever, left, right, whatever, it don't matter. That's not the issue here. Is that a stain on my shirt? No, that can't be happening right now. Wait, is that the light? I can't see. Now you're gonna have me paranoid sitting here doing this great show, and now I gotta look at a stain on my shirt. Back to the story. Her job is to entertain you and then go home, mind her business, stay moisturized, and stay beautiful. You can't claim to be on the side of unity, inclusion, and equality while excluding anyone. You people choose to misunderstand and play politics around every viable issue in this damn country. And at this point, it's sickening. I have fatigue. I'm exhausted. You know, it's just a bunch of kookamame, blah, blah, blah at this point. Anyway, congratulations to the queen of disco, one of the queens of disco. You know, shout out to Donna Summer. And I'm sure a few other people that aren't coming to mind right now, but she's definitely one of the titans of disco, Gloria Gaynor. And I look forward to watching you be honored by President Trump and others on December 7th, 2025. That's when the Kennedy Center honors will be handed out. Moving on. Now, we all know this is one of my favorite people, King Randall the First, one of my favorite peoples. And his ex School for Boys is doing phenomenal. He's very transparent. He accepts no government money. And you would think all of that would be something that the greater Black community would get behind, right? Now, there are some people in the Black community behind this, and then there are just those who criticize this man. So he recently dropped he drops a lot of tweets, but one in particular says, some say our school is chasing white applause for telling the truth. It's always interesting that when you tell the truth, you're looking for white people to accept you. That's always interesting. Truth is, many boys can't even read a full book. Instead of fixing that, folks scream about white supremacy and victimhood. Why tear down kids for learning? Literacy is freedom. Victimhood is slavery. Where did he just lie? Where did he just lie? So let me show y'all. Let me show y'all why. Why? No. I'm gonna show y'all why people are having tantrums over literacy now. Because remember a couple weeks ago it was about etiquette, right? So he had the boys go they went to learn proper table etiquette, right? If you're going to aspire to be a king and a queen, you have to know how to eat with the kings and the queens, right? You can't be sitting there busting open the box, the 6-piece, and just be like, that's not a king or a queen. That's an animal. But this is why they're mad.
So when I'm trying to teach y'all how to read, it ain't because I'm trying to be annoying or it's because I'm trying to hurt y'all or make y'all be bored. It's crap y'all need to know. Y'all can go out here in the world, try to get jobs and all that crap, and you can't read, and ain't enough y'all gonna be able to do but go to jail. Real simple. Understand?
Sure.
We all good? Black as the pit from pole to pole.
Black as the pit from pole to pole.
I think whatever gods may be.
I think whatever gods may be.
For my unconquerable soul.
For my unconquerable soul.
Write the word unconquerable. You ain't say nothing. I have not winced nor cried aloud.
I have not winced nor cried aloud.
Under the bludgeonings of chance.
Under the bludgeonings of chance.
My head is bloody but unbowed.
My head is bloody but unbowed.
Write down circumstance. To achieve success, life offers few opportunities for young people with ambition. Do we understand what the word ambition means?
Yes, sir.
Synonyms: aspiration, intention, goal, aim, objective, object, purpose, drive, determination, desire, enterprise, initiative, eagerness. You kind of get it now?
Yes, sir.
You understand what ambition means?
Yes, sir.
So that's wanting white applause, teaching kids how to spell and enunciate and how to read a whole book. Yeah, that's white. You know, no. Let's not teach kids how to do things properly, how to how to function in a civil society. This is absolute buffoonery. And why isn't this young man on every CNN, every MSNBC, every mainstream media outlet? Why isn't the black community throwing sacks of cash at this man? Oh, because he's not a Democrat. Oh, okay. He's not even a Republican. But he's not a Democrat. And so what do you get? What do you get from the black community? You get invited on Roland Martin's show so you can be berated. So you can be told that you need the government. You need the government. Meanwhile, his school accepts no government funding. He's very transparent with what he does with the money. Every time he asks for money for something, like he said in the video that I played a couple weeks ago, if I ask you for money for toilets, I show you me going to Home Depot to buy the toilets. I show you the toilets being installed. If I ask you money for desks, I show you buying the desk. I show the desks in the room. If I need a paint job, I show you the paint. I show you the paint job when it's done. So literally, he's very transparent when he asks for funds, you know, and the majority of his donors. Okay, moving on. This I don't get it. I don't get the hate this man gets. And then you have black people mad that he has a vision. And he walked out the vision, and he's walking out the vision, upset that he refuses to allow boys in his community to become statistics. We won't uplift the King Randall because he's not a Democrat, but we will build monuments to George Floyd. We will burn down cities for Michael Brown. We'll have powerful activist attorneys standing with idiots who couldn't behave at a traffic stop. But when it comes to positivity and teaching young men how to function in a civilized society, that's problematic. Learning how to change a tire, that's problematic. Learning how to do an oil change, that's problematic. Knowing how to tie a tie, problematic. You know, no. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you do that? This is the most ass backwards country. Well, not even country, community. And this is why I say all the time, no matter what you do or how well you do it, there will always be somebody with a problem. So in all of that, just do you. Fulfill your vision, fulfill your life's purpose, because you'll never fit in. And all this is a bunch of distractions to create and make you another statistic, right? Because how dare you try to succeed? How dare you? How dare you? Anyway, we're going to talk about King Randall every chance I get on this channel. This is the type of stuff that should be highlighted on every major podcast. But for some reason, he only ends up at Fox News sometimes, and he'll end up on a conservatives podcast, but he'll never be invited to like the Breakfast Club. For some reason, right. But you know, it is what it is. But Dr. Umar can get a microphone at the Breakfast Club. But we're moving on. So Tyler Perry's accuser, he is really speaking out now. Remember, we talked about this months ago when it first broke, when actor Derek Dixon shared a few instances in a lawsuit where he says he was harassed by Tyler Perry. And now he took it up a notch. Now he's going to the mainstream media. They gave him a microphone and a platform. And in this first clip, he shares two instances where he claims he was sexually assaulted by Tyler Perry, claiming he had to run and lock himself in a bathroom on one occasion. Dixon sat down for an exclusive interview with ABC's Lindsay Davis. Here's the clip.
Can you explain that first alleged incident?
Yes, we were over at his house. We're having some drinks in his guest house, and it was late at night, and he has a guest quarters, and said that you can sleep there instead of not driving. And his house is far from Atlanta and where I was living. And I got into bed, and then I noticed that he climbed into bed with me as well, and started rubbing my leg. And I jumped up out of bed, and he has said, turn around so I can look at you, and just commented on how I looked, and then he got up and left. So I thought after that instance, it was pretty clear that I was not interested in that type of a relationship. It was very, very strange. I mean, I think it's okay that people try to make a move or shoot their shot, but if they get rejected, I think that they should stop. And so I thought it would stop after that, and it didn't.
At the end of the second season, Dale gets shot in the chest 4 times. Why was that especially concerning for you?
What it meant to me was if I don't make him happy, I could stay dead on the show.
And the complaint specifically says, and I just want to quote it, Mr. Perry made it clear to Mr. Dixon that he would kill off Mr. Dixon's character if he did not indulge Mr. Perry's sexual harassment. Was that message clear to you?
For me, that was his way of showing his power over us and our careers, and that he doesn't have a problem with just killing one of us off.
You're also a screenwriter and had written a TV series called Losing It. Tell us about that.
He ended up wanting to read it, and I at first was like too embarrassed to even send to him, but he did, and he said he loved it and wanted to shoot the pilot for it.
All right, let's go to June of 2021.
All right, hold on. Before she goes into the next one, first of all, why are you getting in the bed before the room is secure? Like, I don't know. I'm just weird like that. Like, if I notice that there's no lock on the door and I'm in a place that I've never been, I don't know. I'm not going to bed right away. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. That's just me. Also, this is why, people need their guns. You're about to assault me. Oh, self-defense, baby. You don't get to crawl in the bed with me and harass me. And then you stayed the night after that? Oh, hell no. They got Ubers. They got Lyft. They got taxis. You couldn't phone a friend, somebody? Nothing? Come on. I don't know. I again, but also he could very well be a victim. But see what we have to do in our society now, because so many people lie. You gotta literally go through the degree to prove that you were actually harassed. It's a damn shame. So I don't know. There's something about that. But here's the thing. Look. As someone who's been harassed, I know. You don't always make the smartest decisions in those moments sometimes, and sometimes in retrospect, you're like, damn, I should have said something right there. The moment it happened, I should have said something, So I get it. We don't always make the right decisions. But again, telling your story and proving it in a court of law, two different things.
Another alleged incident that you outline in your lawsuit where you're, again, at Tyler Perry's home in Atlanta, and it ends up with you locking yourself in a bathroom.
Mm-hmm. We started out having drinks in the living room like we have done before. And it got to a point in the night where, we were both kind of feeling drunk. And I remember we were walking back to the guest area where I've stayed before. And there was this health monitor scale on the way. And I was like, what is that? And he said, well, you have to be in your underwear to measure, whatever, so you should do it. He reached down and pulled my underwear down and grabbed my ass, and I, tried to stop him and pull back my underwear up, and he kind of grabbed my arms and said, no, it's okay, just go with it. And I said, stop, I don't want to be naked, I don't want this. And he was just like, no, I'm not gonna hurt.
Wait a minute. Okay. Again, please note, I've said, as someone who's been harassed, you don't always make the right decisions. But dude, so he climbed into bed with you. You claim you got rid of him. Nothing happened. And then the second time, you take your clothes off to step on. Again, I'm not saying he wasn't harassed. I'm just saying you make some really poor decisions sometimes, because the last thing you should have done was taking your clothes off in front of a man who already made advances to you. Again, we don't always make the right decisions. I get it. But again, your story and the court of law, two different things. So keep talking.
And just continued. And in that moment, unless someone's been through something where they have their control over their bodies taken away, you don't really understand the kind of feelings that you get in that moment. It was almost like every thought came through my head: to run, to fight, to freeze. I didn't know what to do.
He says he de-escalated and distracted Perry and eventually locked himself alone in the guest house bathroom.
The day after that, he called several times, and I ended up getting afraid of what was going on the other side. So I picked up, and that's when he said, he was sorry for what happened. He doesn't know why he did that, and that maybe he was self-sabotaging or something. And in the same call, he said, and don't worry, we're going to do your show.
In the lawsuit, you describe this as a calculated pursuit of you by Tyler Perry. There are also several times where he says to you, you have to make your no stronger. Mm-hmm. How did you respond to this, as it's described, calculated pursuit of you by Tyler Perry?
To me, that's just so insulting. And I reiterated, I said stop. I said it.
First of all, the other thing is, why are you drinking around this person again? That's the last thing you should be doing around somebody whose advances you don't want, is putting yourself in a position where you're not all there. So you chose, this is going to be difficult. His defense is going to attack all of this, and that's the problem. That's why the first time it happens, you need to be, I don't care, kill my character off. I don't care. Kill him off. 4 shots to the chest. Boom. All right. Peace out. Have a good one. I get it. You got a lot at stake here. A career you worked very hard for. I understand that. But this is the fucked up world we lived in. We live in, unfortunately. And people allowing things to go on and going back and allowing the cycle, you literally just give them more legal ammunition. We all know socially it's messed up. We all believe, I believe parts of this, but you got to speak up the first time it happens. You got to put your foot down the first time it happens, and just never drink around. Be clear. If you need to keep your job, okay, I'm not drinking, I'm not spending the night, I'm not nothing where I'm alone with this person. That's it. And then down the line, do what you got to do. But this whole going back, and now you in your drawers, and now you're drinking again, and then I don't know if I buy all that, bro. I don't know. But another one of our favorite people on this channel, Dr. Umar. And what I say about a broken clock, a lot of people say this, it's right twice a day.
Derek Dixon stars in 85 episodes of The Oval between 2020 or 2021 until 2024, 2025. In January of 2020, Art, right before COVID, Tyler Perry allegedly texts Derek Dixon and says, among other things, I can't remember the last time I had really good sex. Now, as a heterosexual male, if another man sends me a text telling me he can't remember the last time he had good sex, I already know that ain't somebody I need to be around alone, because he clearly got the wrong idea about me. In fact, I'm gonna have to let him know. In the future, fam, I don't need to know about your sex life. So,
boom. Boom. Literally what I just said. As soon as it goes down, you got to check it. And you got to check it, and you got to be consistent, because here's the thing. You're going up against a really rich and powerful person. And so any discrepancies, they will manipulate any discrepancy in the timeline. Well, why did he come back? Why did he take his pants off if I was doing all of these things? Why was he drinking around me? Why did he spend the night 3 times? By the second, after the first time, you knew there was no lock on the guest room door. That's strike 1 right there. But no. You're going to have to really, really work your ass off to get this lawsuit fulfilled and to really prove some stuff, because the behavior is really, really sus.
So Tyler Perry texts him this. He can't remember the last time he had great sex. And then he invites Derek Dixon to his house. Derek Dixon goes to Tyler Perry's house.
Yep. Go to the house. Drink. Spend the night. And then thought nothing bad was going to happen. Like, come on. Like, and I get it. Sometimes I could be a little airheaded too, and I'm not aware. But once I'm aware. That's it. It's over. Cut off, blocked. We're good. But good luck, Mr. Dixon. I hope the lawsuit works out in your favor. You got a hell of a fight against you, and you're up against a really powerful man with a lot of legal support. So good luck, and yeah, we hope it works out. Moving on. So, Publishers Clearinghouse has filed for bankruptcy. You know what's even worse about this? Reading all of these stories of people who won, a lifetime of whatever amount of money, and how they were just reckless. How these people literally were getting hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and was not doing right by the money. Now, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure, I am almost 1000% sure that in the contract that you signed, it said, hey, if we file for bankruptcy or if something goes wrong here, X, Y, and Z. I'm pretty sure the document was that thick. And you went and signed the document. So basically, if we file for bankruptcy or if something financially goes wrong and we can't pay, this is our out. And you signed it. Here's one man in his harrowing story.
Publishers Clearinghouse became famous for its prize patrol that delivers those big oversized checks to people across the country. Well, now they're facing some of their biggest problems yet. They're going bankrupt, and they are not able to pay winners as promised.
Yeah, they declared bankruptcy back in April. Kyle Aboshi explains what that means for people still owed money.
So stop making excuses. Only Publishers Clearinghouse can make you so rich, so fast. So enter.
There's no place like our house.
For decades, Publishers Clearinghouse made dreams come true.
Hi, people. It's true. It's really true.
And in August of 2012, the prize patrol delivered. John Wiley of Southern Oregon figured he was set for life.
You are John Wiley.
Yes, I am.
You're shaken. Just as it says here, you have won $5,000 a week. forever.
The jackpot allowed John to retire and move closer to his kids. He bought a house near Bellingham with enough land for the 4 dogs and 2 goats. Earlier this year, John expected his forever prize payment to arrive, as it always did, $260,000 direct deposit. But the money never came. And in April, Publishers Clearinghouse filed for bankruptcy.
You know, I thought, why didn't somebody at least give me a heads up? Hey, we're going out of business, you know, something. But no, it's like somebody just cut the cord and I'm falling.
With no annual prize payment, the 61-year-old is scraping by. He relied on that income. It was his lifeline and was supposed to be forever.
Sold my jet ski, sold my trailer. I had a little bit of money left over, and that's what I'm living on right now.
John's had trouble finding work, and the bills are piling up.
Pretty sure I'm going to lose my home.
Now, I'm no mathematician. So, give or take, since 2012, he's probably made close to $4 million at this point, right? So you mean to tell me you've made that amount of money and you've made no sound investments? You don't have a sound savings. Where all the money go? You bought the ranch. That's great. But what'd you do with the money? These are the questions I have, because I've seen plenty of documentaries on people who win the lottery, and most people go broke. Why? Because the first thing you're supposed to do, like if I ever came into that amount of money up front, the first thing you do is you get a financial planner or a financial advisor. Yeah. That's the first thing you do. Right. And then you understand what is your vision for this money, right? And then you have to have a degree of discipline, because first of all, this is an amount of money that I've never had before, right? So of course I need somebody there to to help me, because I've never had to manage this amount of money, right? Because one of the first things I saw in the documentary on the lottery winners is that as soon as you claim the money, all of a sudden, everybody that has cancer, everybody that has some sort of weird terminal illness, everybody's charity, everybody wants some money from you. Everybody. So the first piece of advice in that documentary was to, if you can, claim it anonymously, and if you can't, you have to set up the safeguards to protect yourself, because the people are going to come at you crazy. You're going to have cousins you didn't even know existed, trying to sell stories, all types of crazy stuff, right? All types of crazy stuff. And I don't think, and I don't even know, but I'm just based on what people have said, is that when you are handed that amount of money, people don't realize the responsibility that comes with that. And it's a big responsibility. And a lot of people fumble. A lot of people fumble because they get lazy and complacent. And look, if someone is going to hand you $260 some odd $1,000 a year, and your job is basically to pay the taxes and then you can do whatever you want with the rest. Yeah, not a lot of people are wired to be managerial in that way. So most of us need some professional to come in and say, hey, all right, chill out, and what to invest soundly. And I mean, he doesn't have stocks in a lot of these Fortune 500 companies. I mean, there are just so many options out there to make that money grow. He doesn't have bars of gold sitting somewhere. I mean, come on, dude. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell, and especially after seeing lottery winners lose everything because they just got reckless. I saw this one show. I don't remember what it was, but it was this black woman. She won the lottery. She bought a plantation. She had her son, and her son was just, he would have those dirt bikes and he would just lose the keys, and it would just sit there at one part of the property, and she would just go buy him another one. And then he abandoned that one and she just go buy him another one. And then here's the kicker. She had a boyfriend who was I forgot what he was convicted of, but he was going to prison. She bailed him out for this exorbitant amount of money. and is supporting. I don't know if she's still supporting him, but at the time of the documentary, she was supporting him in prison. And I'm sitting here like, and I'm pretty sure, I'm absolutely positive she's broke by now, because based on the way she was spending in those few moments that I saw her, unless somebody really intervened. But then again, people can give you the tools, but you have to go use them. So, what up, cousin? Anyway, people, do right by your money. If you're blessed to get something like this to happen to you, be smart. Be smart. The first question is, okay, what do you do when you come into this amount of money? Okay, cool. Go find you some people to manage that money, and then don't. I learned this from Oprah, because Oprah made that very clear. She said, "I log every check." Oprah Winfrey, regardless of what you think of her, Oprah Winfrey logs every check, and then she hands it over to her financial people. So she has a log of her money. So if y'all FAFO, boom. I'm not just blindly just letting you manage my money now. No, I'm active. Not spending ball. This is an inside joke. Anyway, all right, so we'll be right back with the main course.
It's always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed.
For far too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people, really very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists, and they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And this is a picture of the woman, a beautiful young girl that never had problems in life, with a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests. We cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country. We have to respond with force and strength. We have to be vicious just like they are. It's the only thing they understand. 24 of the top 25 most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrat mayors. 50 people were murdered in Chicago in recent weeks, with hundreds being shot. And it's time to stop this madness. The people of our country need to insist on protection, safety, law, and order. We have proven that it can be done because we did it right here in D.C., in District of Columbia. The capital of America was a bloodthirsty, horrible, dangerous place, one of the worst. And now it's a crime-free city, and we're going to keep it that way. It can be done. It can happen fast. All we want is, please, Mr. President, we need help. Chicago needs help. Other cities need help. We'll do what has to be done because we're going to make America safe again, and that includes our big cities. We're going to make those cities safe. Thank you.
Ooh. All right. So, before we get into it, short story. So last night I was recording a video on this because I had just seen the full footage. Like most people, the full footage came out yesterday between Iryna and the animal on the light rail. And I was shocked. I haven't been that upset in a long time. I haven't been that frustrated in a long time. And I had to calm down before I started recording. But here's the problem: when you don't have a producer and a team and you decide you're going to go record content, the problem was I had started recording, at least I thought I did. And then I spoke for over an hour on this topic. And everything that I just wanted to say and get out and convey, only to find out that I wasn't recording. And not only was I not recording, my microphone wasn't plugged in. So maybe that was the God's way of saying, not tonight, not tonight. Because I was gonna just drop the video last night, just, and then move on, because then I saw, President Trump and everybody's reacting, and then people sharing the footage over and over and over again. And the first time I saw it was yesterday when Lumberjack did his surprise live. Was the first time I saw some of the footage, and then as you go deeper and deeper on X, you see more and you see more, and then you see the aftermath, and there was a lot going on. So it's beyond sad, it's beyond unfortunate. There's no excuse that can be made for this. This is an absolute miscarriage of justice, and President Trump is rightfully calling for the death penalty. Federal charges have been filed, and so that means the killer is eligible for the death penalty. He says the animal who so violently killed the beautiful young lady from Ukraine who came to America searching for peace and safety should be given a quick, there is no doubt, trial and only awarded the death penalty. There can be no other option. President Donald J. Trump. And I 100% agree. This person had 14 chances to get it right. Some of us barely get one chance to correct stupid things, right? You curse on your job, something crazy, some little stupid thing, right, can cost you a lot, right? And you get more unforgiveness and consequences for stupid things than people like that, right? You have people who literally took out PPP loans, and granted, they did wrong, but they're actually serving real time in prison for that, right? Right. For basically borrowing their own money, first of all, but then they get real time, but this person gets 14 chances. I just want you to digest that for a second. But Megyn Kelly, couldn't, obviously, and rightfully so. She says, fuck BLM. It's bullshit DEI, criminal justice reforms, the knee-bending candy-ass judges, DAs, who went along with the lies about racist policing and who created the revolving door for criminals arrested dozens of times and for clearly mentally ill and dangerous at all unspeakable cost to the innocent young women of America. F them all. And I 100% agree. 100% agree. And we shouldn't even have to be here. We shouldn't even have to be here right now. And to sit here and make excuses like Van Jones is about to do, because of course, hurt people hurt people.
We don't know why that man did what he did. We don't know how to deal with people who were hurting in the way this man was hurting. Hurt people hurt people. What happened was horrible. No one mentioned the word race, white, black, or anything except him.
So wait a minute. And I'm not gonna, like, when I get to actually talking about this, I'm not gonna, race is not the center of my argument here. But y'all make stuff about race when nobody mentioned race. Meanwhile, a perpetrator mentions race and it's not about race. Interesting, isn't it? And I'll use it in the right context. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? I'm perplexed. Maybe it's just me. Is it just me? I don't know. Because I think if you perpetuate a crime and you made it clear that you took care of the white girl as you're walking through the car and no one's helping, that pretty much makes it about race at that moment, doesn't it? Okay, cool. I mean, and not to say that people in retaliation should make things about race, because the and I'll just get into all that foolishness later. But here's Caroline Levitt, our press secretary, giving the press a scolding for trying to cover this story.
And perhaps most shamefully of all, the majority of the media, many outlets in this room, decided that her murder was not worth reporting on originally because it does not fit a preferred narrative. Many of the journalists in this room spilled plenty of ink trying to smear Daniel Penny for defending a subway car from a deranged lunatic in New York City, but none of those same reporters lift a finger to write stories about an actual murderer. Here's the truth that every
If you haven't watched, I believe that video is like the full video is like almost 6 minutes long. So if you haven't had an opportunity to watch it, I will put a link to it in the description. I just, for the sake of time, didn't want to belabor the point, but she was very clear and concise in that clip, and it just had to be said. And thank God for platforms like X, because without X, this probably wouldn't have gotten out, because if X was still Twitter, they would have been censoring that story like crazy. And Facebook would have been censoring that story like crazy. Much like they did after the 2020 election and with the whole COVID situation. I mean, when people literally lost accounts, they lost livelihood because they told the truth. They lost careers because they told the truth. Very, very interesting. Anyway, I will never show the footage, just out of respect for Iryna Zarutski's family, out of respect for her family. Wait, hold on. Hold. Sorry, y'all. One second. Apologies. One second. All right, had to make a correction there. My bad, y'all. It's called Live to Live for a reason. This is why we do Live to Live. At least when I'm live, I know I'm recording. And y'all are reacting in real time. Well, almost real time, close to real time. But anyway, I will never show that footage. For one, out of respect for Iryna Zarutska's family, her loved ones, and just overall, it watching somebody be that inhumane to another person. And again, I don't care about color. This is just about humanity. Because no matter who the perpetrator is, as I've said, I've been very consistent. I don't care who the perpetrator is. I don't care what they look like. I don't care about their background. I don't care about their mental issues. I don't care if they were racist. I don't care if they're Republican, Democrat, MAGA, transgender. I don't give a frog's fat ass. None of that matters to me once you cross the point of no return. And I will say that until I'm purple in the face. There are just some things that don't need to be consumed like that. And there are a lot of people that are posting it not because they care about Iryna or because they care about this issue or that they want to have an actual intellectual conversation about the actual problems and be resolute about it. They just want clicks, likes, and views, and I'm not interested. And this is just tragic, and I'm not gonna make this just about race. I'm not gonna center race here. That's the low-hanging fruit that everybody likes to grab when stuff like this happens. But we got to be honest. Yeah, Black folks, pull up. Scholars, researchers, the data, it shows Black Americans are disproportionately represented when it comes to both arrest and victimization in this country. That's a fact. And let's not forget, this killer actually said, quote, I got that white girl, end quote, after he attacked her. That's on the record. For the record, Derek Chauvin never said, I got this black man, but y'all made it about race. One racist incident that did happen in this country was Dylan Ruth when he went into that black church and unalived 9 people. And just really quickly, I know I'm digressing right quick, but the most beautiful thing in that moment about that, which is I would have to really search, I mean, deep within myself. I probably have to go to a past lifetime. But the fact that the family of the 9 victims of Dylan Ruth, whatever his name is, and oh wait, hold on, I don't say the name of the animal that went in and shot those 9 people in that church. The fact that they forgave him literally less than 24 hours after he destroyed their lives, that showed me what real Christianity is. To be able to flex forgiveness in a moment the pain is immeasurable. I don't know. But I gotta say, getting back to Iryna, as a black man, it hurts to even give those stats or to just be this honest, but you can't fix something that you refuse to face. I'm not here to protect criminality. I never will. I'm not here to make excuses for bad behavior. I never will. Everybody's got a story. Everybody's got an excuse they can lean on when they choose to do wrong. But at the end of the day, that's childish. That's irresponsible. And that's just flat out ridiculous. It is 2025. We're free men still clinging to excuses rooted in old hurts and generational baggage. At some point, we got to let that shit go. One of my mentors once told me, and I mean, this stuck with me forever and ever and ever. And whenever I feel like I want to be irresponsible, this quote comes right into my head. For everything working in your life, give the credit to your parents. Everything that isn't working, get responsible. I need y'all to think about that for a moment. Yeah, once you turn 18, you're in the driver's seat of your life. Once you turn 18, it's on you. Those choices and decisions you make could be made from trauma, or they could be made in a responsible way, right? You can make decisions from trauma. You can make good decisions from trauma. And then you can make catastrophic decisions from trauma. But the choice is yours. Now back to this horrific attack. Where were the men? Where were the protectors? Where were the dudes willing to put it all on the line for the greater good? The ones willing to get vilified in the headlines, but still stand tall because they did the right thing. Where were the men with some balls? Shout out to the people who eventually did step in. And these were the people that weren't the closest to Iryna. But they stepped in when they realized what had happened. And they rendered aid. But it was already too late. But the fact that her killer was able to stroll off that train 4 to 6 minutes later, the fact that it took that long for anybody to step in is absolutely absurd. It was sickening. There were people literally sitting around her. This whole tragedy reminded me of Daniel Penny. This is the most recent incident, one of the most recent incidents in New York. He was called every name in the book. He was called racist. He was called a murderer for putting Jordan Neely in a chokehold as Neely was threatening people on the subway. And don't forget, the 2 other men helping restrain Neely weren't even white. That's the part the media kept skipping over. Daniel Penny wasn't some racist vigilante. He was a man stepping up to protect innocent people. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not racist. That's called a hero. That's called somebody willing to put their life on the line to spare others. And let's be real, Iryna needed a Daniel Penny on that train. She needed someone who wasn't afraid to step up and say, not today, not here. Maybe it would have changed the outcome, even though it was so sudden and so brutal. But damn, at least someone would have stood up in real time. Instead, what do we see? We see a train car full of people letting a man roam around unchecked. Folks moving away, burying their faces in their phones, pretending not to see it. No one tackled him. No one disarmed him. No one put this maniac in a chokehold while somebody else called the cops. That's silence. That's inaction. You know what? That's deadly too. Now, here's the crazy part. And this is where I will extend some respect to the killer's mother, is because unlike Jordan Neely's family, his mother actually did the right thing. She got her son evaluated. She secured an involuntary commitment order from the courts. She literally said, her son is dangerous. He needs to be locked up. But the courts failed her, failed Iryna, failed all of us. The killer was diagnosed with schizophrenia. He should have never been back out on the streets. And you know who made that call? A magistrate judge. Someone who isn't even qualified to be a lawyer. Yeah, you heard me right. In states like North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Arizona, West Virginia, magistrates can preside over violent criminal cases without having gone to law school. You mean to tell me somebody with less training than the average attorney gets to preside over a courtroom? What in the insanity is going on in these states? That practice needs to end today. Fire all of them. And there's actually a petition to get the judge that released this animal back into society fired. And I hope they're successful. Meanwhile, the political leadership is out here gaslighting us. Charlotte's mayor, V. Lyles, who won her primary today, is chasing a fifth term, actually said Iryna's brutal murderer, said of Iryna's brutal murder, we will never arrest our way out of issues like homelessness and mental health. She told people to treat mentally ill criminals like they would cancer patients. You've got to be kidding me. Really? Ladies and gentlemen, this is what passes for leadership in 2025. But let me break it down. Cancer patients don't stab strangers on trains. Cancer patients don't terrorize neighborhoods. That comparison it's insulting. It's dangerous. Mentally ill or not, violent criminals need to be taken off the streets, period. So what we're left with is this: a failed justice system, cowardly leadership, and a society that has gotten way too comfortable with looking away. Iryna should be alive today. Her blood is on the hands of a broken court system, a weak mayor, and yes, on every man on that train who chose silence over courage. We need accountability. We need real leadership. And most of all, we need men and women who aren't afraid to step up when it counts. Because if you don't, this will happen again and again and again and again. And next time, it could be you or someone you know. So Ask your Democrat leaders and like Brandon Johnson in Chicago, or the mayor of Charlotte, or the mayor of New York. What are they pretending not to know? What are they pretending not to know? Mhm. As I've said, you can't change something if you won't even face it. You can't change something if you won't even get real about it, if you won't be honest about it. And let's just be clear, a lot of people don't wanna face it. Yeah, it's painful. Yeah, it's a reality check. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing as hell. And I'm not arguing with low IQ people about race. I'm not having gutter sewer arguments about black versus white, white versus black, black, white, black this, black white. I don't give a damn. Wrong is wrong, right is right. This young woman should not be dead. That's it. Full stop. We could sit up here and, oh, this happened. Oh, that happened. Oh, he needed this. Oh, he needed that. I don't give a damn what he needs at this point. At this point, he just needs the electric chair. At this point, he just needs to be tar and feathered. At this point, he just need a gulag. That's what he need at this point. You had 14 chances. You had a mother who was actually doing the right thing and you still fucked it up. Well, that's on you. I know people who have mental illnesses. They're not out here killing people. They got responsible. They want to be productive. Lots of people want to be productive members of society, mental illness or not. So you could rest in your excuses. You could lean on your problems. Oh, this happened. Oh, I'm not tall. Oh, I'm not this. Oh, I'm not that. Or you could just get responsible and be proactive and be a stand-up person. That's what you could do. And that's my TED Talk. Anyway, thank y'all so much for listening to me rant today. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you would like to support the channel, you can go to AJsRANTroom.com. That's AJsRANTroom.com. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. The subscription costs you nothing. So smash that little sub button and hit the bell so you get notified every time we go live, drop new content. Tomorrow's 9/11, so the show will be dedicated to 9/11, the 24th anniversary of 9/11. As a native New Yorker, I will go over what I was doing that day and the aftermath and maybe a couple of the conspiracy theories. I don't know. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. You know, when simpletons like this won't take accountability, you give them the ammunition and then you get mad when they use it. You do the bad stuff and then you get mad when people call it out. I'm sorry, you will never find a video of me fighting on a cruise ship. You will never find a video of me beating down somebody in a Popeyes. Y'all give them the footage. Anyway, I'm bored. I'm not doing low IQ. So have a great rest of y'all day, people. And thank y'all so much for supporting. Peace out.